If your BAH is $2,500 a month, how much should you spend on housing? $2,500? Well, that's the obvious answer to all of this, but it could be completely wrong. One of the biggest money mistakes I see military families make is treating their BAH like it's a housing budget. It isn't anymore. Inflation, rents, whatever crazy DOD calculation that they use doesn't keep up anymore. But it doesn't mean you have to do this. And if you're making this mistake, okay, maybe you get promoted. Maybe you start making a little more money. Maybe there's some clothing allowance or a duty station allowance or something like that, special duty pay to make more money. Every year, typically your BAH increases. Now, that's not true for everybody because there's some in the United States that I saw that actually went down, which is a little bit crazy, but they did. But what I see mostly is a lot of families wondering why there's nothing left at the end of the month. So today I'm going to show you one number I think that every military family should know. Call it your BAH gap. Okay, once you see it, you may never look at your housing allowance the same, and that's what I want. Right? I'm trying to change the way you think about these things and how military families operate with their personal budgets. Because here's how this usually happens. So you PCS to a new duty station, you look up at your BAH, say it's $2,500, and somewhere in your brain, $2,500 becomes the housing budget, just like that. Maybe it's because somebody you serve with told you that's what it should be, right? You have an FRO or somebody in the JAG or whatever it is, like, you got to do this. Most of their information is completely outdated and worthless. So you start looking at apartments or houses even around $2,500, okay? Makes total sense. Numbers match. Except here's a problem. The military knows your rank, it knows your dependency status, it knows your duty location, but what it doesn't know is your car payment, credit cards, child care, spouse's income, emergency savings, your financial goals, your spending habits, and whatever Amazon that your family has been visiting your front porch like they're paying rent. Because I experienced that too. Okay? BAH does not know your financial life. You do. And if you don't, you should. Which means your BAH and what you can comfortably afford for housing may be two completely different numbers. And this is where things get really interesting with all of this, because two E6s, okay, same duty station, exactly the same BAH, can have completely different housing budgets. One could comfortably spend the full amount because they have no debt. The other might be putting their family under serious financial pressure. Same rank, same location, same BAH, completely different answer, because everybody's financial situation is like a thumbprint. You have to stop treating each other the same because you're not. So let me show you why this happens, right? Let's make this simple. Two military families, we'll call them Family A and Family B, both receive $2,500 a month in BAH. Family A has no credit card debt, one reasonably priced car payment, okay? One healthy emergency fund, okay, say 3 months, and some breathing room every single month after they pay all their bills. Family B, okay? Family B has 2 car payments, credit card debt, the old military star. Everybody loves those until it comes due time and you get your payment fucked up because they suck, okay? Credit card debts, child care expenses because you can't get on post, right? Very little savings because you spend every dollar you make going to Taco Bell. Okay, you're already living paycheck to paycheck. So I want you to tell me this. Post it here in the comments below. Should both families spend $2,500 a month on housing? Of course not. The answer is of course not. Personal budgets mean everything. But that's exactly what happens when we mistake what an allowance is for an affordability calculation. Let me say that again. We mistake what that allowance is for an affordability calculation. You don't do the math, and nobody's ever walked you down the path of the math, because all you want to do is spend money, because you get 2 guaranteed paychecks a month and you're spending every freaking dime of it. Okay, so this brings you to the number that I promised you earlier. And I call it the BAH gap. Okay, here's how I want you to think about this. Take your BAH and subtract your real housing cost, not just your rent, not just the mortgage, your realistic housing cost. Depending on your situation, that can include utilities, insurance, HOA expenses, maintenance, and other costs. Okay? Whatever is left is your BAH gap. Okay? Let's say your BAH is $2,500 and you found the house, a perfect home somewhere, whatever duty station you're in. Realistic monthly cost is around $2,200. You created a $300 positive gap. Okay? Now, I wish I could say this was true of every duty station in the country, y'all. This is not a blanket statement, so don't come at me with why I live in Hawaii and shit's expensive. I get that. Shit's expensive in Hawaii. Shit's expensive in Northern Virginia, in the DC metro. Okay? Shit's expensive there. But it's not like that everywhere. San Diego, expensive, right? JBLM in Washington, expensive. But not every place is like that. So this is not a blanket statement. So don't come in with that crap in the comments. Whatever. Do your best. Okay? It's fine. Okay? But here's what I want you to understand, that $300 gap that you have, that BAH gap, is not free money. And I'm not telling you what you should do with it. Okay? So don't mistake that. But you've created something valuable. You've created what we like to call margin. That $300 is a margin. And that margin gives you choices in your life. Okay? But this is where I want to be very clear. Again, I am not saying never spend your entire BAH. Okay? That's internet guru bullshit. Some duty stations are expensive, like I just said. Some families need more space. I understand that. Some markets simply do not give a realistic option to live below BAH. Okay? So just hear me when I say that. And your family's quality of life is what matters most to me, and it should matter the most to you. Period. The goal isn't to see who can cram the most children into a studio apartment so dad can brag about his savings. Okay, that's how divorces happen. The goal is know the number. Because when you know your BAH gap, you can make the decision intentionally. So let's go back to that $300. Okay, $300 doesn't sound life-changing. It probably isn't to a lot of people. That's $3,600 a year. Over 3 years in one duty station, that's almost 11 grand. Again, that's before considering what you choose to do with it. That money could potentially help you build an emergency fund, pay down expensive debts, those high-interest credit card payments. Okay, prepare for your next PCS. Increase retirement contributions, invest the money so it makes you money. There's all kinds of strategies out there, and there's not a one-size-fits-all model. So be careful of the internet gurus who tells you they are. They're just here to say you should. That's it. Say you something. Or, here's the best part. You can simply create breathing room so an unexpected car repair doesn't end up on a 21% interest credit card. That's the bigger lesson in this. All of this. Wealth, okay, financial freedom isn't always created by making dramatically more money. Sometimes it's just created by keeping more of the money that's already flowing through your hands. Okay, like I said before, the military gives you 2 hots and a cot and money. Let's figure out how we use it. I talk to service members every day that have no debt and great savings and all these things. I talk to some that are leveraged to the gills and literally one bad day away from bankruptcy. So let's flip this around just a second. Okay, your BH is $2,500. Okay, actual housing cost $2,900. Now you have a negative $400 BH gap. Does that automatically mean that you're making a bad decision? Post that in the comments, yes or no. I believe the answer is no, because of the markets I mentioned earlier. Some just do not cover everything, and they never will. Maybe living closer to a base, commuting time expenses, other ways to save money by just reducing what you pay for a home, because that's an investment that's supposedly going to make you money if you decide to sell. Your spouse is going to get a job. There are plenty of legitimate reasons, but here's the biggest difference. Now you know your subsidized housing with $400 from the rest of your income every month. That's $4,800 a year that has to come from somewhere else in your household budget. okay? And that is financial intelligence piece. This is where veteran financial intelligence comes from. Don't make this decision accidentally. Don't stumble over it, trip over it, hit your face on the concrete. Make it intentionally. Because here's what worries me with this. Lifestyle tends to grow with income. I've been there, done that, probably still doing it to this day. Okay, promotion, E67, bigger house, the AH increase, more expensive neighborhood, new truck. And before long, you're making more than you ever have. And somehow you're no further ahead in life. Take it from personal experience. I've done this to myself. I could probably have been retired if I'd have listened to my mother. 52. That's lifestyle inflation. We're already paying more expensive things because inflation sucks. Do not inflate your lifestyle over the same reason, okay? Military's not immune to any of this. I've seen families with very respectable incomes who still feel broke every single month because their personal budget is a disaster. It's not because they're bad people, not because they're stupid. No matter what the internet tells you, their lifestyle simply grew at the same speed as their paycheck. So every dollar coming in already had somewhere to go before it was even hit the bank account. So here's the rule that I'd like everybody that watches this video to remember. Okay, this is my rule. Don't let your housing allowance determine your lifestyle. Let your financial plan determine your lifestyle. That's a completely opposite way of thinking. Instead of my BAH is $2,500, so let's find a $2,500 house. Let's start with what housing choice lets our family live well and continue to move forward towards our financial goals. And not the financial goal of having a $900 Dodge Charger payment, you idiots. Right? Maybe the answer is $2,500. Maybe it's 22, maybe it's 29. But now you made the decision. Your allowance didn't make it for you, and that's the distinction that we have to remember. Okay? So, before you sign your next lease, before you buy your next house, I want you to answer these 3 questions. Number 1, what's my actual BAH? Okay? Number 2, what's my real monthly housing cost? Okay? Not the advertised rent, not just the principal and interest payment. What does living there realistically cost my family? The last one, what is my BAH gap? Positive or negative? Okay? Or maybe it's 0. Then ask the question that matters most. Okay? Listen to me when I say this. Does this housing decision move our family closer to or further away from our financial goals? That's the question. Okay? And this is what we're building with this channel. Yes, I'm the VA loan boss. We're going to keep talking about VA loans and home ownership. But a VA loan is only one of the many financial tools available to you that we're going to share with you. Okay? Veteran military families also need to understand housing, VAH, credit, debt, PCSs, benefits, investing, retirements, and how all these decisions are tied together and work together. Okay? I call that veteran financial intelligence. Because getting approved for a house isn't the goal. It is not. That's what I get paid to do, but it is not the goal. Buying a bigger truck is not the goal. Making E7 isn't the goal. Building a strong financial future and a financial life for your family should always be your number 1 goal. Speaking of trucks, we're going to go there next because there are several things that I would be very careful financing while you're in the military. And I'd say number 1 has probably eaten more of military paychecks than anything I've ever seen or actually care to think about. Probably all know what that is. I don't have to tell you, okay? But what most people don't understand is what that purchase can actually cost them over time. Okay? I'm going to show you that. Real time, no shit numbers. And that's the next episode. So if you're active duty, veteran, part of a military family, subscribe to the VA Loan Boss. Hit the little bell for the notification. Share this channel with anybody that's in the military, out of the military, that wants to understand financial goals with no shit assessments. I'm not here to blow smoke up your ass, and I will never do that. Because my mission in this is simple, right? Helping veterans win with money. And that's it. It's that simple and that complicated. Now I want you to do something in the comments, okay? You don't need to tell me what your BAH is. Just answer this. Positive gap, negative gap, or a zero gap with your BAH and your housing expense. If you figured out something or a smarter way that I didn't cover, way to manage housing costs at expensive duty stations, share it right below. We're going to share this with people because somebody is PCSing where you're going or where you are or where you've been in the next month, next day, next week. And they might need exactly what you've learned, not just what I can teach you, but real world experiences that you can give them. Okay? And that's what the most important thing is, because they might need exactly what you've learned. I'll see you on the next one.